Part 3. Now, as I said, I would have done the same thing. So I'm gonna break it down for you. I'm a man. I would never want my daughter or my son to be a victim of rape or sodomy. You know what I'm saying? I would never want that. So I would want them to know how to fight. But in the events that God gives me somebody who's as soft as cotton, you know, if you don't know what that means my kid just can't fight. No matter what I do, I can't convince this kid to learn how to fight. The kid just all out refused to learn, even though I've given them every bit of martial arts I can get, and they go out and they still get their ass kicked because they're soft as cotton. Then I have to fight their battles for them, which is not cool because daddy shouldn't have to fight your battles for you, you know, and neither should anyone else. You have to learn how to stand up and give an ass whooping or take one. It's just that simple because that's just the way the world works. You're either going to give one or you're going to take one. I've taken plenty of ass whoopings from my sister, and I've given and taken plenty of ass whoopings on the streets. It's just that simple. I'm not Bruce Lee. I would love to be at that level, and I'm probably never going to achieve it now that I've had a hip replacement. Then again, I might be better because of it. You just never know. I've had some work done on my thumb and my middle finger, the same two that were bit by a horse. But the problem is simple. You know, you have the right to defend yourself. That's your God-given right. Now, the way the law puts it, it's more like your God-given privilege. Because if you want to carry a gun, guns don't do nothing but bring you trouble. Only damn guns you'll ever need are these motherfuckers right here, and the motherfuckers that support the rest of your body when you're standing and walking around. Now, a lot of you people are saying, "Oh, James, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. You can't fight with shit." Okay, whatever. You're the same motherfuckers that won't show up at parks when you threaten to fight me. And then I'll be there looking like a damn fool. And everybody like, well, why is this guy wandering around? Oh, I'm just waiting for the guy who promised me an ass whooping. I had a neighbor whose grandson still owes me an ass whooping. And I still got the stick over there. It just doesn't have a nail in it. Now that I'm a little bit older, I have to be a little bit more cautious. You can still have the stick. I'm just going to take it from you and beat the fuck out you anyway. Now, moving on to what the video purpose is. We as people, we're entitled to make yay so many mistakes. Yay so many. But you can't keep making the same damn mistakes over and over and over. Because the only person you're hurting is you. Logical brains seem to not function when it comes to women and relationships with men who like to beat their ass. Now, like I said, if a woman is scared, I understand that. And sometimes you can't just pack shit and go because you fucked up and had kids with this asshole. Because you never know a true person until you actually live with them for more than a year or two to understand who this guy is. And sometimes this guy ain't who he pretend to be. Sometimes he's just a fucking asshat. And sometimes he's a pretty nice guy. But if he's beating your ass, it's pretty much a given that you should not be with him. And rule number one, even if you've known someone for 10 years, don't think that they won't beat your ass. But the rule number one is really quite simple. If this guy is out to whoop your ass, the best thing that I can tell you is simply this. Leave him. And if you can't leave him, report him to the police. Take pictures. Because if you don't, you won't have evidence. And sometimes people love their significant other literally to death. But if you're beating the person you love, then you don't fucking love them. You're fucking jealous. And if you're trying to rearrange their face so that no one else will love them so that they'll be stuck with you, well, the joke's on you. Because there are people who will love a woman regardless of what she looks like. I'm almost one of those people. But it also depends on what she brings to the table. Now, on a personal note, I'm willing to date and marry a woman that has one child. Only one. No. I'm not so willing to date and marry a woman who has 5 or 6 kids because that's just way too much for me to have to take care of. No. And plus, I don't have an issue hitting their father in the mouth. Alright? Because anybody who's ever been in one of those relationships where the father's a jerk and he comes in and says, well, this is what your wife used to do for me. I bet she doesn't do that for you. And if that happens to me, well, somebody's going to take a flight on the James Williams Express. They're not going to land very well. It's just that simple. And it won't be the first person that I've done that to. Because as a 12-year-old, yeah, as a 12-year-old, I launched the guy off my daddy's porch because him and a girl who broke my heart lied to me because she was his cousin. At least they waited until my dad left the room before they told me the truth. Then I taught them how to fly. I let her walk off, but him, no, he got a one-way ticket right off the porch with the tip of my boot. So, and if you're out there, buddy, I hope that scar on your chin's still there, because you fucking deserve it. Shouldn't be a home wrecker. Anyway, moving on. Which is the same concept, you know. I never raised my hand at the girl who broke my heart. I probably should have thrown her a beating, and as hypocritical as that sounds, she wound up going with someone who treated her like dog shit when I treated her great. And you women are prime examples of doing that shit. Because we're not good enough for you. We're not what you want. You want that element of danger. So you tell me when in the fuck did having an element of danger meant that you probably wouldn't get hurt, or you wouldn't die, or get your ass beat, or some shit like that. It doesn't. It simply means that if you're gonna date a badass, you're next. I mean, I'm not trying to quote Goldberg and pump the hype up and shit, but I'm gonna tell the truth. If you want to be with a thug or a badass, you're fixing to get your ass beat. Now, this video was not nice. All three parts. I continuously bashed you women on here. And I haven't said anything bad about men. Alright? But there's a reason for that. It's not because I'm a man. It's because I'm a smart enough man to know that you're not supposed to put your hands on women. They're supposed to be the gifts from God, or the Great Spirit, or whatever you truly fucking believe in, that makes us whole. Because without a woman, I can't have a child. You know, unless they have, like, genetic cloning becomes illegal or whatever, and I can raise a clone of myself to be better than me, but initially, I'll be just raising myself. So, that's not gonna work. Now, you know, I actually do like having sex, so I kind of really need a woman for that. But you women, y'all might like having sex, and some of y'all get turned on by getting slapped around. I don't recommend you find a person to be like that for the rest of your life, but if that's what you want, I can't stop you. Which is the key to what I'm saying right now. No one can make a choice for a woman but that woman. Now, no one goes out or grows up in the morning when they get up out of bed at 4 and 5 years old and say, hey, mommy, when I grow up, I'm going to be a rape victim. Mommy, when I grow up, I'm going to marry a man who's going to abuse me. I've never seen a woman or a little girl get up and say that. And if they do, you should probably take them immediately to a psychiatrist so that they can get checked out on, because why in the fuck would a little girl want to grow up to be beaten or raped? Even rape fantasies has its limits. I watch enough porn to know that. You know, because they do after the bloopers after the scenes. Yes, porns are real movies. They just have sex in them. Unadulterated, purified fucking sex. But they are real movies. They have steps. They have things. They have storyboard just like everything else. And, you know, they pretty much, all right, well, how you want this to happen, how you want that to happen. And generally, for rape fantasies, the woman is in charge. So she and the director know the signs of, okay, this motherfucker's being too rough, let me stop, blah, 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 let's reset, etc., etc. Now, in real life, it don't work like that. In real life, if a woman is going to get raped, it's not something that she asks for. It's not something that she's grown up with in the back of her head as a little girl thinking, okay, when I grow up, I'm going to be raped. I'm going to be raped. No, that shit does not fucking happen, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, because you women generally pick these guys, if you get into an abusive relationship, it's not so much as your fault as it is so much kind of your fault. No, I'm not saying it in a hypocritical stance, in case you're not understanding what I'm saying. Alright, let me try to break it down for you idiots. 1, you choose the man that you're going to sleep with. If it's a one-night stand and it's just going to be a fuck and you're into kinky sex, okay, cool. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Now you choose the man that you're going to stay with for the rest of your life, and if it's a fuck and an abuse is involved, he no longer should be the man you want to be with for the rest of your life. The light switch has just cut on. You should probably get the fuck out of the relationship. You definitely should not have his hell spawn so that you won't be stuck with this bastard for the rest of your life. And then you go make a couple of phone calls to Daddy Warbucks or the fucking police. Stop letting pride, guilt, and shame stop you from doing what's right. Now, for you women who can't escape because you have children, you can still call the cops. You can have someone call the cops for you anonymously. You can pitch hints to your friends. If they're your real friends, they're going to stand up for you, and they're not going to continue to let you take an ass whooping from some jackass that you love. Well, you can love him, but if he loves you, these things here would only be open for hugs and caressing your nipples. Other than that, if he's making you understand the backside or the palm of his hand, that's not fucking love. But nevertheless, you women don't want nice guys. You don't want those guys that went to school and had those Coke bottle glasses on like me. You don't want those guys that can actually read and write and try to have something going on with your life outside of, I'm going to smoke this weed, I'm going to drink this beer, I'm going to fuck this bitch over here, and I'm going to fuck that bitch over there, and I'm going to fuck that slut and that whore right there. But those are the guys you go after. The guys that are into drugs, the guys that are in heavy drinking. I drink in moderation. I ain't going to lie, I'm not a fucking saint. If I get a bottle of vodka, I drink it right here in this room. I lock that fucking door. No one's going to get hurt unless they come through that door. I'm not going to hurt anyone because my ass will be in this room in a secure area where the only thing I can hurt is probably my TV and some aliens in a video game. But there are people who drink and hurt the people that they love. So one of my deepest, darkest fears, which is why when I come home from getting my buzz, I lock that door and I put up the warning. Do not come through this door before sunrise tomorrow. I will not be held responsible for what the fuck happens to you because I do have a room full of knives in here. So why would I tell them that? So that I don't hurt them in my sleep. Because as a vet, I'm more paranoid now than I ever was before I joined the military. I know that sounds awful, but it's the truth. And I'm not scared. There's a difference between being straight scared and paranoid. Now, paranoid will make you do some crazy shit. Scared will make you do some crazy shit. But the difference with being paranoid is that my senses have been heightened because of martial arts. My skills have been heightened because of the military. So it's kind of not the best idea to fuck with me while I'm lit. Understand? Now, as far as weed and ecstasy and all this shit, that shit will never touch my lips. No cocaine, no crack, nothing that involves injecting needles in me at all because I'm the biggest pussy on the planet when it comes to needles. So, you women have to learn how to pick and choose your men wisely. And this is the part where I start jumping down the men. Alright? No, not you guys that are going around abusing women, because you're pussies. But I'm jumping on these men that should have been in these girls' lives to teach them to value themselves better. That's right, I'm calling on all you fucking punk-ass daddies that were I got a daughter. I wanted a son. I didn't want no daughter. I want a fucking son so I could teach him how to fuck chicks, fuck them over, and all this other shit. No. Because there's somebody's daughter too. And you wouldn't want somebody doing that to your daughter. So here's your lesson before I end the video. If you're a man with a daughter, you need to be there for your fucking daughter. From day one until they start fucking. Or in the event that they start having PMS issues. Then you give them to their mother. After she explains everything to them, then you bring it back over to daddy. Can you and your daughter shave legs together after having that conversation with her mother? Of course you can. Because if you're a man, you will man the fuck up. If your daughter wants to shave her legs, you shave your legs too. You've seen the commercial. Men can raise their daughters without it being sexually odd. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I have a wife and she dies and I have a daughter and that's the only child I have, you better fucking believe I'm going to do everything I can to make sure she's as normal as possible. Alright? If I have to fucking wear a dress to the mother-son dance or the daughter-daddy dance, so fucking be it. I'll go get a goddamn dress. Because if I have a wife and I lose her and she dies and all I have is the daughter, there's no way in hell that I'm going to abandon my kid. Not a fucking option. So, what is the problem with being there for your child because of her gender being different from yours? The only time that you really can't explain to her is when she has PMS. Other than that, a daughter is just as good as a son, if not better. All you have to do is keep them from making very stupid fucking decisions. And if you're not there to teach them this shit, they wind up with douchebags full of dick tips as men, and they get pregnant by them or they get their ass beat by them. And then you have to go and do your job as a daddy, which means you have to rearrange that asshole's dental work. Now, if you guys don't like these videos, it ain't a damn thing I can do to change your mind. But hear them for what they are. Take that 199%, 99.9, and listen to that shit. Because here's the thing. If us men don't be more involved in our daughters' lives and in our sons' lives, but mostly our daughters' lives, it's how you get teenage pregnancies. Because a daddy that don't give a damn about his daughter is why she went out and got the baby in the first place, because you weren't there to give her the love that you need. Now, let's say, for instance, all right, I'm making movies. Let's say my acting career takes off tomorrow, and I'm making movies for the rest of my life, and I have a daughter. The first thing I have to do, depending on how old the child is, depending on what the directors and the producer allow, my kid's coming with me. If I got to pay for a babysitter to sit in that trailer with her all damn day, yeah, my kid's gonna visit the set. Period. So if you're watching and I actually have a kid, she's gonna visit the set. She has to be there. I want her to learn the ins and out of what I do to feed her ass. Because she might want to follow in my footsteps. I won't suggest that she should, because I'm going to say like almost every fucking actor that has ever been in the movie business. Yeah, find a better job. If you can handle rejection like very well, acting is for you. If you can't handle rejection like at all, yeah, this shit's really not for you. So I've been rejected for 17 years. I'm still going at it. I have nowhere come to my end point, no matter what I've put up. I do feel it though. I feel it day after day after day. And after meeting a actress at Comic-Con, it's kind of reinvigorated my drive to keep going. But for 17 years, I have been struggling, and struggling to break it into this business. This is my way in to being seen. Even if it's only 25 of you, it's better than zero. But the whole concept is that, you can't give up. But if you're trying to get into acting, some of us get lucky and we stumble into it. Some of us never catch a break until we're dead. So I'm in that category. I'm in the Bruce Lee category of no one's going to discover me until my ass is like dead. They're like, hey, damn, this dude actually was pretty good. And they're like, yeah. But it's too late now because the dumb bastard's dead and cremated. He's a bottle of ashes. And I'm hoping that that's not the case. But at the rate I'm going, it seems to be the case. Now, I want my daughter to know, that I don't have a daughter right now, but if I have a daughter, I want her to know, if you're good and you get lucky without having to sleep with somebody, good job. And if you're good and you're struggling like me, good job. But you have to be able to handle rejection. My only fear in acting in general is not getting a line right. That's it. Not selling a line. If I'm in a kung fu movie, I'm pretty much not going to have any real good lines. Maybe some one-liners that people will remember until they die. But, as far as like it being a dramatized show, I'm probably not going to get any of those roles. There's not a whole lot of roles for people like me that are multicultural because there's nobody fucking writing them. Now, as I close this out, gentlemen, you're raising the next generation of women. Ladies, you're raising the next generation of women. Gentlemen, you're raising sons. Raise them to be men, not wife beaters or girlfriend beaters. Ladies, gentlemen, you're raising the next generation of women. Raise them to have value of their physicality, of their soul, inside and out, and that their body isn't just a tool for men's sexual pleasure. Now, granted, for some of them it could be, but let's be honest. You have to be on top of your game in raising your kids. You have to teach your girls a little bit more. Girls are smarter, but girls are a little bit more naive when it comes to boys and sex. Cause I love you, I think you're pretty. Those are doorways that trap girls into. Okay, get on your back, take off your drawers. Let me take off that bra. I'ma suck on your tits. I'm gonna lick your click, and bam, I got her. And now I'm gonna bone her and bone her and bone her. And when she pisses me off, I'm gonna smack her around a little bit, and then I'm gonna throw her ass away. We have to teach our kids better. So that's what I'm closing with. We have to teach our sons how to be men and our daughters how to be women who respect and love themselves and their bodies and not just to be somebody's fucking sex toy. If the guy doesn't want to wait for her, then you tell her that she has to learn how to not fall in love with her feelings and use her logical brain to say, hey, look, you don't want to be with me, that's fine. I don't want to have sex with you, and you're going to have to accept that. Or you can go find another girlfriend, and she can give you sex. Or you can be with me, and you can wait until I'm ready. And if you can't do that, then you carry your ass somewhere else and go find another girlfriend. And when I'm ready, if I still want to have sex with you, I will. But you have to raise your kids to see things this way. Because if you don't, one time is all they need to have a belly full of candy. Now, once that baby's here, it can't go back. It's there. It is a life. It is alive, and it is going to fucking flourish. And you're gonna have to nurture it, and you're gonna have to raise it, and you're gonna have to teach it. And no child, I don't give a damn whose daughter it is, and I damn sure don't want my daughter to disappoint me and be pregnant at 13, 14, or 15. Now, in the event that it's a rape, we're not having that baby. I don't give a fuck if I've just pissed off everyone who supports life. I support a woman's choice. I am not pro-life. I am pro-choice. I don't give a shit if you don't like that, and I'm gonna explain why. All right? I am not a woman, but I've done enough research to understand it. There are a few rape babies out here, and you might not even know it if you're a rape baby. I don't know if I'm a rape baby. My parents was married. That does not make my father no less the man that just decided, hey, I'm gonna take this pussy and that's it. You know, because men do that. Women and husbands and wives get raped by their significant other all the time. Because a lot of people, when they get married, they think that it's honor and obey. And if I want pussy, I'm gonna take it, and you're gonna have to take one for the team, and that's all to that. And it doesn't work like that. But in lots of cases, from the 70s to the 90s, it wasn't until some case with some celebrity in the 80s, I don't remember who it was, I don't really give a fuck, where she said, well, just because we're married doesn't mean I have to have sex with you. And the judge fucking agreed with that. And I agree with that too. It's her fucking body. If she doesn't want to have sex with you, you can't make her have sex with you. And now you're saying, but James, the whole point of me getting married was so that I could have a source of pussy at home. Okay, ladies, you heard that. The whole source of us getting married is so that we can have pussy at home. Two ways you can take that. You can take it the honest way, because that's mostly true, or you can take it the way, but it's still my pussy. And that's true too, but the problem is, you don't want your man to cheat. So the only way I can tell you to keep him from cheating is to is to take one for the team. See, it's a catch-22, so you're fucked either way. So I would tell you this: don't get married. If you don't want to have sex, or if you want to have sex with one guy and you don't want him to leave, then you're gonna have to learn to love sex. And some women do, and some women don't, and it's just that simple. And usually, this is how this works. This is Murphy's Law, and then I'm gonna cancel this shit out right here on this note. A lot of you women who don't like sex generally wind up with a man who does. A lot of you men who don't like sex generally wind up with a woman who loves sex. So, if we all could just be honest with each other about this shit, then the people who really love sex could be together and be fucking all the time. And they're not fucking to get married, or to make babies. They're just fucking because they enjoy fucking. Alright? And the people who are procreating by fucking, they will fuck when they want to make a baby and call it a day. Those people should be together. And people who like to fuck, just like to fuck. Not to get pregnant, but just like fucking. They should get together. But because none of us are honest and we can't help who we fall in love with, that's why the world is the way it is today. No one wants to be honest. No one wants to tell the truth. No one wants to accept the truth. And no one wants to be the person that says, well, you know, I love you, but you're not really willing to give me what I want. Because I'm going to tell you now, and I don't care if this offends you or not, if you're going to be my girl, sex is a fucking requirement. Period. It is a fucking requirement. Do I like sex every night? If I could have sex every night, fuck yes. And if you're not really willing to do that, I don't want to be the guy that's going to be like, well, you know, I keep begging you for sex and you keep turning me down. I'm not going to rape you, so I'm going to cheat. And that's generally how that happens, because most guys, they love their women. They don't cheat because they love someone else. They cheat because they're not getting fucking sex. So, if you don't want them to cheat, but you don't like sex, what the fuck do you expect to happen? See? See that clusterfuck? I know that went completely off track from what the first two videos were for, but there's the truth in a nutshell right there. You don't want your man to cheat, but you don't want to have sex with him all the time. He wants to have sex with you all the time, which is why he'll go cheat, because you don't want to give it to him. It might not be that he doesn't love you. It might not be that he doesn't find you attractive. It just be the fact that he can't make you fuck him. I mean, he can, but that's illegal, because rape is illegal. And even if you're married, it is still illegal to rape your wife. In 48 of the 50 states, I think. I'm not going to swear to that. I'm pretty sure for most of the 50 states, it is illegal for you to rape your wife. Alright? So, if you want to get him for adultery, well, he can hit you with irreconcilable differences. Is it, Your Honor, I've married this broad, and she refuses to give me sex. So I didn't marry her because I don't love her. I married her because I do. Part of being in a marriage is that we have sex. She doesn't want to have sex with me. So what am I supposed to fucking do? I can't sit here and jerk off for the rest of my life. I didn't marry her so that I could just jerk off. Now, let's say you married a swinger. Just drop him over. No. Now, as I close out, because this was all about abuse, you know, if you're going to be in a marriage, know where you stand before you say I do. Know what your partner wants before you say I do. It's going to save you a whole lot of problems in the long run. And more importantly, keep your fucking hands to yourself. If you're in a relationship with someone, you should never put your hands on them unless it's sexually consented. Other than that, you know, if she's coughing, you know, you can pat her in the back, Heimlich maneuver, that kind of shit. Those are expected. But you should never make a fist and hit your woman in the face. And for women, you should never make a fist and hit your man in the face. Or kick him in the dick, or any of that other shit. That's not how relationships work. Relationships is a two-way street. It's supposed to be 50-50. Once you can grow up and know that, you're good to go. Now, I'll probably make another video, but it won't be about this. I'm James Williams. Come for having number 2. Be seeing you.